Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Star vs. the Forces of Evil is a Disney series that needs no introduction. It's one of the network's most popular shows. With that said, there was a pitch pilot the public never got to see back in 2012 that had some notable differences between it and what would become the final show, such as Star's wand being designed differently, Marco's hoodie being a different color, and even the name of the show being different. In fact, between the show being pitched and the first season's production, there were even some conceptual changes made to the show, such as Star originally being an ordinary girl who only thought she had magical powers. Some concept art and a few screenshots have surfaced, but nothing close to a clip with audio, let alone the full thing, and it's probable that Disney wouldn't let the full thing come out.
This summer, Scoutmaster Lupus and his assistant Slinkman aren't just running Camp Laszlo, they're also overseeing activities at Cartoon Network.
These cabins have air conditioning, right?
I'll check, sir.
Our new stars will guide you through the hottest shows and movies all summer long. And announce the latest from CartoonNetwork.com.
This summer's gonna be a scorcher, Slinkman.
Very good, sir.
I like that enthusiasm.
It's Lupus and Slinkman's Cabin Fever all summer long. Weekdays from 10 to 4, only on Cartoon Summer.
Lumpus and Slinkman's Cabin Fever. In 2005, Cartoon Network ran a block called Lumpus and Slinkman's Cabin Fever, in which the two characters from the show Camp Laszlo would host segments in between episodes and commercial breaks. This was notable because they started airing a month before Camp Laszlo even came out, meaning people would have no idea who these characters were for the first month of the block's existence. Most likely, they were cheap and easy to produce since the animation wasn't the most demanding, and only one voice was required because Tom Kenny voiced both characters. None of the segments are known to have survived, and all that remains is a promo for the series.
Has the world really been waiting for this? Was there an online petition that I didn't know about?
Ready? Let's get in here right
Do it
now.
out of a drum. Okay, hold on.
Can we get this?
I don't trust you. You don't let me near you with.
Attack of the show. Since G4's return to network TV, the station has slowly been rebooting some of its original programming. Some of this, however, is lost. The original Attack of the Show has many episodes that are now lost. The show was a mixture of current events, showcasing various things from the internet, and comedy skits that would air on weekdays. Of the original run's roughly 1,900 episodes, only around 700 have been found and uploaded to Internet Archive, with loads of various other clips being deleted from YouTube for copyright reasons. Because it's unlikely G4 would rerun some of the original episodes, unless someone has them recorded from their original airing, the episodes will likely remain lost. Who's Who's? Who's Who's was a 1951 CBS game show that was very poorly received, and thus only aired one episode. The premise was that a panel of experts would try to determine, from a set of 3 men and 3 women, which man and which woman were married to each other. The show's footage was shot in a rather unique way as well. The audio was recorded on standard audio tape, while the video was a series of still photos that producers flipped through to sync up with the audio being played. Critics gave the show very bad reviews, and described the show's host, Phil Baker, as awkward and clumsy. Because of the poor reception, the show was canned after only one episode, and that one episode is entirely lost. Carnival of Light. For a festival in London called Million Volt Light and Sound Parade, the Beatles produced a 14-minute-long track entitled Carnival of Light. The track was commissioned in 1966 by David Vaughan, to which Paul McCartney agreed. The song supposedly consists of a lot of incoherent and distorted instrument sounds, including a guitar and even a church organ, along with various random vocals such as someone shouting, "Barcelona!" In fact, McCartney himself described the production of the song in a 2008 interview stating, "I said all I want you to do is just wander around all the stuff. Bang it, shout it, play it. It doesn't need to make any sense. Hit a drum, then wander onto the piano, hit a few notes and just wander around." As of now, McCartney still seems ready to release the song and tried to in 1996. However, George Harrison objected to it at the time. The only people that got to hear the song were the people who attended the festival at the 2 times the song was played publicly.
One that sort of
deep fans keep requesting. There's a thing called Carnival of Light, but it's very far out.
I think we can handle it. I
We can
really
handle
do.
far out?
Yeah.
Far out for 15 minutes?
Yeah, we'll just do a
You can
bunch of
handle
drugs
that?
and go crazy
All
like
right.
the old days.
Yay.
The Adventures of the Smurfs. The Smurfs originally came from a Belgian comic strip called Johan and Pivot, and were later adapted into a television series in the 60s and became very well known in West Europe, and eventually in the US. But in 1965, a movie called The Adventures of the Smurfs was made. It was divided into 5 segments, roughly 20 minutes in length, entitled Smurfnapped, The Smurfs and the Magic Egg, The Black Smurfs, The Smurfs and the Magic Dragon, and The Flying Smurf. If you couldn't already tell, the film was just a compilation of episodes from the TV series. While some episodes of the original TV series have survived, only a few clips from the movie can be found anywhere. Sonic DS. When the DS was released in 2004, Sega planned to make a Sonic game for the console, and they did eventually end up doing this multiple times, with the first Sonic title for the DS ending up being Sonic Rush. A tech demo was shown at E3 2004 of what a Sonic game would be like on the DS. It was a 3D platformer where the player would move the stylus back and forth on the bottom screen, and the speed of the player's motion would determine Sonic's speed. That might sound like it's nowhere near Sonic Rush, or really any Sonic title on the DS, and that's because it isn't. No one knows if Sega ever tried to use the concept from this tech demo to make it into a game, or how far in production that idea got if they ever did use it. Any progress on a potential game, as well as the tech demo itself, is completely lost. Big Bug Man. Marlon Brando was one of the most decorated actors in recent memory, but very few people have seen his final film because it went unreleased. Big Bug Man was an animated movie about a candy factory worker who gets bitten by bugs and becomes a superhero. Brando's role as Mrs. Sour, owner of the candy company, was documented as being one he thought was one of the most fun of his career. Despite failing health throughout the recording and often requiring oxygen, Brando got very into his character, including donning a dress, a wig, and makeup during the recording. The movie was slated for a 2006 release, but kept getting delayed to 2007 and then 2008 until quietly fading to obscurity. There is no available footage or screenshots of the movie. It's also worth mentioning that Brando died less than a month after the recording.
Brando had always wanted to play a woman, according to his agent, and just 3 weeks ago, he finally did. In his first and only role as a woman, the Hollywood icon became Mrs. Sour.
We're led down the hall, walk into the den, and there, perched and poised, was Mrs. Sour, the character, from head to toe. Blonde wig, black gloves, jewelry, makeup, the whole 9 yards.
Batman Dracula. Batman Dracula was a 1964 film by pop artist Andy Warhol. The black and white film runs about an hour long and was filmed in various locations in New York, including Warhol's famous studio, The Factory. While Warhol claims the film to be an homage to Batman, the film was made without DC's permission, which is a possible reason for it not getting a wide release, as the film was only shown at Warhol's exhibits. Various clips of the film have been pieced together, but a majority of the film was lost, and it will likely remain that way, as Warhol himself isn't alive, and thus isn't able to give anyone permission to release the film, and that's even if DC doesn't want to keep the film under wraps. SpongeBob Season 9 Unfinished Episodes. Because of the second SpongeBob movie, production of Season 9 of the show was halted mid-season. 20 episodes were produced before the movie released, 19 of which aired before the movie released. The other 29 episodes of the season were produced and aired after the second movie. However, there were 2 episodes that seemed to fit into this timeline kind of weirdly. SpaceBob Invader Pants and Krabs Army were episodes supposedly produced before the second movie, and were even listed as upcoming episodes on the SpongeBob Wiki before being delisted with no explanation. The plots of both of these episodes were rather hard to come by. Neither episode had an official synopsis. It later came out that these episodes were never finished and got scrapped when production of Season 9 resumed, as Vincent Waller confirmed the episodes never got past the storyboard phase. They were most likely scrapped for quality control reasons, as Vince has also stated, "We didn't feel like they were worthy of your attention." This one picture of the storyboards for SpongeBob Invader Pants has been floating around, but it's pretty much useless since it's illegible.